Nobody picked Omar to win. Not the judges. Not the other competitors. Not his own school. Not even, if he is being honest, himself. He was not the fastest. Not the most polished. Not the one anyone had been watching. He was the one in the corner. The one nobody tracked. The one they thought was just there to make up the numbers. And then he won. The most powerful victory is the one nobody saw coming. Especially when you were one of the people who almost did not see it coming either. Omar had spent his whole school life being invisible in the best possible way. Not the boy who got in trouble. Not the boy who got the highest marks. Not the boy who was picked first for anything. Simply there. Watching. Thinking. Taking everything in. What nobody knew about Omar was that the quietness was not emptiness. It was preparation. He had been watching and learning and absorbing everything around him for years. Not performing knowledge, actually building it. Slowly. Carefully. The way you build something you intend to last. The quiet ones are rarely empty. They are usually full of everything they have been gathering while everyone else was talking. The competition was a national public speaking and debate event. Omar's school needed a fourth member. Someone suggested Omar. Nobody objected. Nobody was particularly excited either. Omar, your content is really good. You just need to be louder. More confident. More like, a speaker. More like a speaker. He thought about that for a long time. And then he made a decision that changed everything. He was not going to try to sound like the other competitors. He was going to sound like himself. Completely and only himself. Because the one thing none of them could do was be Omar. And he was going to make that enough. Authenticity in a room full of performance is the rarest and most powerful thing you can bring. Round by round, Omar kept going. His teammates had expected him to be eliminated early. But something was happening that nobody had quite accounted for. Omar was getting better with every round. Not because he was practicing harder. Because competition was showing him things about himself he had not known were there. Most competitors perform the same material better each round. Omar was writing new material between rounds, responding to what he heard, incorporating ideas from the other speakers, building something cumulative and alive, while everyone else was delivering what they had rehearsed. You do not need to be the most polished person in the room. You need to be the most real. Before the final, Omar sat alone backstage. And for the first time in the whole competition, the doubt arrived. Not as a visitor, as a flood. Who was he to be here? He was not the school's best speaker. He was the fourth member added to make up numbers. And then Omar did something that surprised himself. He closed his notebook, because he realized he did not need it anymore. Everything he needed to say was not in the notebook. It was in 8 years of reading, of watching, of listening. He had been preparing for this his entire life, without knowing it. Preparation is not always obvious. Sometimes you have been preparing your whole life, without knowing what you were preparing for. In the final, Omar spoke for 7 minutes. He did not shout. He did not perform. He talked, the way you talk to someone you respect, about something you genuinely believe. When he finished, the silence before the applause lasted 4 seconds. One of his teammates counted. 4 seconds is a very long time in a competition room. Standing at the front of that room with the trophy in his hands, Omar felt something he had not expected. Not triumph, not relief, something quieter, a deep settled knowing that he had always been capable of this. Omar, how did you do that? I just said what I actually thought. The world is full of performance. What it is starving for is someone who actually means what they say. I want to talk to you about being the last person anyone expects, because I know what that feels like. Being underestimated is not a disadvantage. I know that sounds wrong, but hear me out. When nobody expects you to win, nobody watches you closely, nobody tracks your progress, nobody notices when you improve, you get to grow in private. You get to become something in the space between everyone else's expectations. The most dangerous competitor in any room is not the one everyone is watching. It is the one nobody is watching yet. If nobody is expecting much from you right now, do not try to change their expectation. Let them keep it, and spend every hour they are not watching you, becoming the person who walks into the room and surprises everyone, including yourself. Let them underestimate you. It is the most useful gift they will ever give you. Have you ever been the last person anyone expected? Or are you that person right now? The one nobody is watching? The one nobody has picked? Drop it in the comments. I want to know where you are in your story right now. Share this with the underdog in your life, the quiet one, the one in the corner, who has been watching and thinking and gathering everything. They need to hear this today. Subscribe to Rise Tales for a new story every week. Because every week there is someone somewhere who surprises the whole room. And this week it might be you. This is Rise Tales. Real lessons, animated lives, and your story starts right now.